Hello, Billy the Artist here, and we are now on to the third How to Draw Pokemon, and today we're going to do Dragonite after we have done Jigglypuff and Pikachu. Anyway, here we have some very cheap felt tip pens that I got from Poundland, and they've done 2 drawings so far. I haven't used these. I bought these 8-9 months ago, and I've let them just sit to see what they're like. Now again, you're limited in colours. Today with Dragonite we could have a bit of a problem because we are quite limited, so matching the colours exactly, you might be better off with coloured pencils than felt tips. But we shall have a go and see how we fare. Anyway, we shall try out and see how they go, and they've done quite well. I've kept, oh, flung it everywhere. I've kept this one. This is the first black. You get 2 blacks in the set, because you probably think you're going to use black more than anything else, like for these outlines. And they've held up quite well so far. Like I say, for £1, it's good fun for drawing, and this is how I started. But again, I will remind you, I've used pristine white paper for these, in comparison to when I do the How to Draw and use the trusty 2B pencil. So the last set had How to Draw, and there's lots. There's Toy Story and Inside Out and all kinds of characters. Batman, Lego Batman that you can have a go at, and others. But the last set was The Secret Life of Pets with Max, Gidget, Snowball, the Insane One, and Duke. So anyway, you can go and check those out, and we'll be back to using the 2B pencil soon. But we are using these cheap felt tip pens to How to Draw Dragonite. So we're going to jump right in, and remember, it's using shapes to fill in the actual area quite quickly. Now, there's the top of his head. His foot's bottom's going to come down there. There's the other foot. I'm just putting some quick marks in on the page. Now, straight away, again, using shapes, I am just going to draw a big triangle there. So there's one big triangle. I am now going to do another triangle that's about halfway up the page. And that's his tail. I'm going to do another triangle. I'm going to separate that with a line down the middle. And that's his wing. Now I'm just going to do a rectangle. I am going to do a bit more of a rectangle down there. And one egg there, another egg there, another egg there, and a rectangle there, and then an egg at the top. And that's Dragonite's body, shape, and his head, all just using really simple triangles. And they're quite light because I don't want the pencil to smudge the ink, though we could have a bit of a problem. But we will see. Now, you can do more detailed construction lines using your pencil for the body and putting all the shapes in. But I'm going to dive in and use just the felt tip. So we're going to start here. And that's like a U. And there's his eye. And we just need to leave a little bit there. Now this eye that's above where his mouth is, and we'll put the extra bit on there, so that is level with that eye, and then it's like a D, a capital D going upwards. So then you can fill in the inside there, and then you've got a little wiggly bit there which is green. Leave the highlight and fill that in. So above his eye there, you've got this antennae that comes off, and you can just follow that down, and there you've got that shape. Right at the top, you've got a little triangle, which is his horn on top of his head, and then you can curve that down, and then all the way down, connecting with this box. And remember, in the cards and in the description is the link to How to Draw Anything, Part 1 Shapes. There's a triangle for that claw, another triangle for his second claw, triangle for his third claw. Now his arm comes up and there's a little crease for that arm. And now from his cheek he can come down, but we'll just put those two little dinks on there. Now his leg, you can follow that shape out down to his foot. Now again, you've got little triangles, but they're curved, so you can either draw them in first or start with the point and do an egg but come back to a point. Middle one, start with a point, do an egg shape, come back to a point. It's a bit like an upside down tier. Connect the toes. Again, you've got those curved construction lines there, so if we just pling that leg off, you can follow that down to his foot. Now that very quickly is, you're starting to see Dragonite come together, and you get his tail at the back, but we'll do his wing here. In fact, shall we do his antennae? So this one, a little bit lower, go off and come back on yourself. It's a bit like, just practice doing S's or Z's back, but a Z that hasn't got sharp corners, it's rounded. So you come back and follow that one in, and there's his other antennae. So now let's put his nostrils in. One there, and his tummy starts and comes out to that part of the triangle, and follow the curve with your hand. Remember, follow that round coming in, and then this leg is a little bit higher than those marks there, and that comes down, and then you get his foot coming off to the end, and then you've got triangles again for his claws. A little bit higher each one, and then you can bring that down over the top. Now we've gone past a little bit with that, but that's okay. But that's his leg. Now here, from the top of his right leg going up here, so you can either go from top to bottom or bottom to top. Let's go from the top down. It's an S, very slight S. And then you can fill in these bits above. So just above is the top of his leg there. So you've got a curve going there. So now we put his arm in. That's like a U. Go up U. Again, triangles. There's one. There's two as he's waving hello. There's three for that claw. Finish his hand off, and that gives you another point of reference. Now here, off his nose down to the middle of his arm, just do two lines and one in the middle, and that's his left wing that's behind his left shoulder, which you can't see the bottom parts. But these give you the reference points for all of these other bits. So just above that line there, you get the scale pattern. It's quite a nice broad scale, fortunately not little ones. There's one halfway down his arm, above his arm there, that starts to go the other way. And then you know from there up to there are two. So you can just go bing, bing, two will do. And then you've got the right number. So on his tummy, from there to there, you can do that one. From there, going round. And then you get another one off his tummy. And it's getting more accentuated. And then you know there's three. So you can go 1, 2, 3. Little dots to help you guide. And you've got the right number by using the other reference points. So now we've just got his wing and his tail to complete. So we'll start off, and from there come across and curve going up, and then curve it back down over that triangle. Do the point and do the outer part of his wing, then come down there to the point, and then you've got an M inside that triangle. There's the out to the part and then over. So you've just done that M, and there's a wing. Using simple shapes, we've got that down. All we need to do now is to put Dragonite's tail in. So we've got that little guide triangle, and we can now know that we come up a little bit, so we can put a dot there and come down and you'll notice that that will join up underneath there, and then that'll join on the back of his leg, and then his kind of scaly tummy doesn't go right the way up, but then you've got one there, joins there, 2, 3. So now you can look, you can either just make it up or you can actually count them off. So we've got the first 2, and then there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've put the little dots on, and that's how you get them all there. So very quickly we've got, and that black pen worked fantastically well. It still hasn't given up yet. We've got Dragonite coloured in. Now I think colour wise we might actually struggle, because there's not a fawn colour, his claws are a bit of a light blue. We might actually struggle colouring in our Dragonite with these felt tips to be exact for what is on there. But let's give it a go. We'll start with this yellow, because he's got a bit of an orange tinge. And let's colour in his body. Now again, you might be better off with Crayola crayons or pencil crayons, or you might have sets that are vast in number. You know, I've only got 28 colours to actually choose from my set of felt tips. But I do hope that you enjoy this as much as I do, because this is good fun. And with a cheap set of felt tips, and you can see the yellow, it's actually struggling a little bit, but colour wise that's doing okay. To actually fill in Dragonite with his actual main body colour. And if you go back over and fill it in, yeah, it's doing all, that's doing alright, that is. But again, you want a kind of fawny orangey brown colour. So let's get his left leg in quite quickly, and his left foot. Now this is struggling and starting to dry out. Again, this is the third drawing I've done, and they've sat around for 8 or 9 months, because I can remember as a kid you'd get bought for your birthday or Christmas art sets, especially if you like drawing and colouring in, and a lot of them just kind of get left. And I used to have a wicker basket that was filled with bits of Lego and felt tip pens, and that's what I used to do. I used to put stuff together. I had a tin with Meccano in, and I used to make things and build things with Lego and Meccano, and then I'd do some drawings. So there is the yellow putting his body in quite quickly. Now I've got this kind of fawn colour, so we'll use this for the shadow, and I'm trying very lightly to fill that in. I'm just following the lines and filling in very quickly where the shadow is. Really, I could have put construction lines in, so let's follow that up there. This is working with the yellow that's underneath, so that's got to go there and then coming down the foot, and then all that needs filling in. And again, you can do the same thing with pencil crayons. The side of Dragonite's head going up, and half of that coming down under his jaw, and halfway down his neck, a little bit down that arm. So there, we've used those colours quite quickly to try and make that work. We now need the green for... Cool, that's zingy. his wings. I am really going to struggle for his tummy, his scaly tummy. Now, I've got what looks like a light blue, but on a previous one I tried it and that was pretty horrendous. Now again, we'll double up for the wings. Bit of shadow down there. But let's just use a slightly darker green. It's starting to chew up the paper. It's making it too wet. But that's okay. I say I can see that hit where I am, but you probably can't. Pencil crayons won't chew up the paper as much. Now, that on its own, I'm very, very lightly filling his tummy in, very lightly just letting the nib of the felt tip pen touch, and that kind of fills his tummy in because I've not got the exact colour, because it's a kind of creamy colour and I just don't have that at all. Now that is supposed to be light blue. Ooh, let's pop that back. But that's quite a dark blue. I've just done a little test at the bottom. You see how dark that is. So that's really not going to work. So again, I'm very lightly filling his claws in. To try and get a light blue. So you can see they're just starting. You can see a slightly different shade. But I'm very, very gently letting it just touch the surface of the paper, because if I press on really hard, it's going to obliterate. I now need some kind of purpley brown. I think I'm going to struggle. So I've got an actual brown, and this needs to go underneath for the shadow under his tummy. Again, if you can colour in solid colour, that would be much better. Now, I've got a bit of an orange. I'm going to try, and let's see if we cover over all of... Oh, that's pretty good. And this is using cross hatching, and you're just building up the layers of Dragonite's body. So the yellow and the brown underneath, mixing that together where it's going over itself, and you can see the yellow and brown through as well. It creates an illusion of a slightly different colour rather than just trying to fill it all in. So that's what you can do when you've got limited colours. You can actually recreate. It's like colour mixing with paint when I'm doing my oil paintings. So your basic colour wheel, and I've got complementary colour wheel up video, and that shows you basic colour mixing and what colours go with each other. But here, again, it's a bit zingy, but you probably have more success with pencil crayons than you would with felt tips. But Dragonite is looking pretty groovy. I'm quite chuffed with that. And now we need a normal kind of green. I don't know if we've got a normal kind of green. Here's another one for his eye. Oh yeah, that's lovely. And a little bit there. And there you have Dragonite. Very simply, very quickly. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've now done 3. We did Jigglypuff before, and then we did Pikachu right at the beginning. I hope you've enjoyed those 3. It's been good fun. Please do like and subscribe for more how to draw videos. I hope you've enjoyed this using these cheap markers, these cheap felt tips, and I hope you enjoy your drawing. Again, please do like and subscribe and you'll be kept up to date with all the new art, the high-end art I do, and my how to draw videos. I've had great fun using these. I hope you have too, and that you enjoy your drawing. Take care. Ta-ra.